Sulcatas. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some battling here. The males have got to combat from time to time. A Lumpy killed Zeus. So here we go right now. The battle is on, friends. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is going to be an interesting day because we are putting Lumpy back in with the gals. Now, here's what's going on. Hercules over there, just lounging around, isn't getting the job done. You see, fertility has gone down a little bit here in this enclosure, and I think he's getting lazy. So what we need to do is one of two things. We're either going to put these together and after a couple of days they're going to get along and hopefully things will work out, or I'm going to remove Hercules and bring him back over to where Lumpy was. This way we try our old man Lumpy, who was definitely a tortoise Casanova, if you know what I'm saying. This guy's got the looks, he's got the giant gulars, he's a handsome dude, and the girls used to love him. So let's see if we can get these two paired up again, or see what'll happen as far as, oh gosh, as far as making tortoises happy and getting babies again. Let's see. Let's turn his attention towards the gals. Now, Sulcata tortoises are territorial, so males will combat. Uh-oh, we gotta hurry up. We gotta get these guys in. Come on, Lumps, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. I gotta kind of give him a little, whoop, you stay there, number 6. And then we'll close this. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put you guys right here. I need my hands. There we go. So here comes, look, as soon as I put him in, here comes Hercules to see what's going on. There's definitely gonna be some battling here. Now, we've done this in the past and I pulled them out because I didn't want to deal with flipped over tortoises, but we're going to leave them in a little bit longer this time because, like I said, the fertility of the eggs has gone down, and in order for there to be fertility, you need testosterone. The males have got to combat from time to time, and we'll of course make sure that the combat isn't so violent that these males can hurt each other. That can happen. You guys know inside the Blackfoot, or excuse me, the Blackthroat enclosure, there's actually a shell of a tortoise named Zeus. And Zeus was about 150 pounds Sulcata. He was massive. When I was in Australia way back, I think it was like 2014. Unfortunately, Zeus, it was 2008. It was pre-Kamp Kenan videos. But anyhow, yeah, wound up, Lumpy killed Zeus. So here we go right now. Let's see what happens. This is going to be their first little battle. Zeus was a big tortoise, but he didn't have as prominent those gulars, and neither does Hercules. So we have to really be careful. These two are definitely going to be annoyed at each other, but we'll allow it to happen. As long as it doesn't get way too violent, we'll be okay. And if it does, don't worry, I'm going to pull these guys out and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that these guys are safe. So Hercules is trying to be the dominant guy, but look at the difference in gulars. It's really incredible. And of course, whatever direction I live in, there's a dog barking. It's just the way it goes here at the camp. Left side, right side, front and back, we got dogs are barking everywhere, which is good because we need an early warning system, don't we? Anyhow, these two, I'm actually amazed at how it hasn't turned into violence so quick. But yeah, he's gonna sniff around him. It's interesting to see how these guys behave. Now, you can get two males to actually pay attention or to live with each other without any drama, but it takes a while. So we're gonna have to just keep on looking. And basically it's like a sumo wrestling situation. They're gonna try and flip each other over. They're gonna try and annoy each other, but eventually they just figure it out. They figure out a pecking order, but being that there are two males in there, it drives up testosterone, and that increases sperm production and the motility and fertility of the sperm cells. So very, very important to do. And these guys are awesome. I'm really happy right now. It would also be cool to have all of the Sulcatas in one area. It's much better for me having not to worry about, you know, getting them into couple of different enclosures. The other thing I was thinking about doing was I could take some of the females and put them over with Lumpy. Some of them would stay here with Hercules, but I kind of like having the sulcatas all right here. They're awesome animals. They have this nice early morning sun, beats right down on them. Look at them just hanging out, sunbathing. They're great tortoises. They're one of my favorite species of tortoises. One of the first species I ever got into because I like things that get big. So it's really cool that these guys are out here and we have such a nice, beautiful colony, or creep, if you will. That's what you call a herd of tortoises, is a creep. We've got a nice creep of tortoises, and it's looking pretty good, man. So again, kind of amazed that there's no actual violence, but I know that's going to change. I'm telling you, things are going to change, and it could be right now. Here we go. Hercs is looking in, and this is it. The joust is on. So we want to make sure that one or the other doesn't wedge the other one into a solid structure. That's when those gulars, like his, can really puncture. And his punctured Zeus and removed the skin from the shell, and you could look right in to his body cavity. That's why Zeus died. I tried everything I could to keep him alive, but again, I was all the way in Australia, and when I came back, my dad had told me, hey, that tortoise hasn't moved in a while. And by the time I got there were already maggots and infection set in, and there was nothing I could do to keep that animal alive. But I love Lumpy. You guys know I do. He belonged to a very, very close friend of mine, Dawn. Her dad had him, and Dawn and I were real pals growing up in Center Merchants, Long Island, and unfortunately Dawn passed away, and it was really, really sad. But before that even happened, her dad had sent me, when he found out I was living in Florida, he's a good buddy. He would always take care of me, and he owned a car repair shop, and when I was a broke kid, I had this Suzuki Samurai. It was like barely a motor vehicle, and I would try and drive that thing. I drove that. He once said to me, I don't know if you're brave or stupid, kid, because I drove it to Florida and back. I drove it to California and back, and I drove it to Chicago and back, Oklahoma and back, going to all the BMX competitions. And before I'd go, there'd always be some kind of mechanical problem. So Mr. Crutali would always fix my car and make sure that somehow it would survive. It might have been fixed with duct tape and rubber bands, but it was fixed, and I always made it home alive. And there we go. The battle is on, friends. The battle is on. Holy smokes, this is gonna be incredible. So anyway, he called me one day and said, hey, yo, Kenan, in a real New York, Brooklyn guy accent. He's like, Kenan, I got this tortoise. All it does is eat and poop. But he said the S-H-I-T word. And so basically, Lumpy came to me. Lumpy was about the size of 2 of these scutes. And my goodness, man, Lumpy has grown. He's a big, beautiful tortoise. Not quite as big as the Hercs, but they are here. Look, my family's back. It's Kate and Sophia. Well, where is Sophia? Is she in the back? I don't see her. Sophia had surgery on her little foot, but she doesn't want her dogs in the photo. So we're not gonna show Sophia's little feet there for sure. No bueno. Let's see what's going on here. And kind of, I gotta be honest, that's a really chill kind of, you know, enclosure. All right, your phone's on. Holy smokes, that was loud. Anyway, here we are. What are you doing? I could hear your whole conversation. Where's Sophia?
I left her at the dock.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. She must have been in critical condition. Is she in the back? She's in the back. Oh, look at this. Look at this scooter she's got. We won't show her dogs on camera, but I call her Scoots McGee. She had some bone spurs removed from her big toe, and she's kind of been hobbled a little bit. So unfortunately, my little apprentice, my protege is, well, she's now Scoots. Hey, Scoots. All right, she threw up a peace sign. That's it for her. What'd the doctor say?
I can't walk on.
There you go.
He said it's, you know, normal.
All right, good. No drama.
Infection.
No infection. All right, good. So she had these bone spurs removed, and it was really painful. She was crying and everything just earlier. So Kate brought her to the vet. I mean, to the doctor. Anyway, but look, this is pretty cool, guys. I'm hoping that it remains like this, because having the whole family together is better than a lonely sulcata out there. We moved Lumpy back in, and so far so good. Just a minor skirmish, but who knows?
Oh,
There was a little skirmish, and Hercules is following around, but so far so good. Hopefully these guys get along better. So that's cool. I'm liking this. We also got some gates for the Galapagos enclosure and for Lumpy's old home, which is now over by Frida's Pond. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, sulcatas, you guys that don't know, maybe you're just joining us here at the camp, I don't know. But if you are, basically sulcatas are from the area of Africa called the Sahel. They're one of the most popular pet tortoises, but they are also probably some of the more difficult ones to actually care for, because they get huge and they dig and they make lots of holes. And that's why I have this really fantastic and aesthetically pleasing concrete everywhere on my property. These guys can bust through the fences, they can dig holes, they can collapse foundations. So if you don't have a big yard and you don't have Kubotas, then you may not want one of these guys. Oh, here we go. Here's another joust. But you could kind of see how some of these jousting matches could become a little bit more intense because of the size of the gular projections there. So yeah, you got to watch out for that. And right now we are. It's also possible that it isn't warmed up entirely enough for these guys to be super active and super like aggro, you know, like Schwarzenegger and Stallone. I guess, yeah, one Schwarzenegger, one Stallone. Get out of here, these are my females. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe Lumpy talks a little, hey yo, man, you know, you gotta like take it easy. I'm a dork, but I love the 80s movies, man. Whew. Conan's probably one of my favorite movies. The soundtrack alone, really, really good. Two snakes joined together, facing each other. Anyway, the Herc is doing his thing. What was I talking about though? Sulcatas, yeah. So sulcatas are an awesome species. They're from the Sahel region of Africa, which is the southern fringe of the Sahara Desert. So it's an area that gets monsoonal weather. So there'll be plants blossoming and blooming in certain times of the year, and these tortoises will eat. They will drink when it's plentiful, and then they can survive for up to a year without any water. They'll get water through their diet, and that is called preformed water. Water that is in something that an animal eats is preformed water. It's already in there. They absorb it. They get it metabolically. They use it metabolically, of course. So that's pretty incredible that they have that ability to really make use of life or use of nutrients that are found in such arid and kind of bare enclosures and environments. So here in South Florida, these guys see way more rain than normal, but we do have a dry season and a wet season. So they do very well in Florida. They also do very well in Arizona, in the southwestern United States, in southern Texas. So they are really, really cool tortoises. They will lay up to 5 clutches, anywhere between like 20 to about 35 eggs. I have one female. Where is she? There she is. There's Big Mama. Big Mama will, the most eggs she's ever laid was 40 eggs in one clutch. It was incredible. This is uneventful, friends. I'm very happy about that. He's chasing after number 7. That's my female number 7. So Lumpy's going on into the palmettos. Hercules is like whatever. And that's what I mean. I think introducing them at this time of year is the best thing to do, because breeding season starts at the end of the summer and then laying in October here in South Florida. Now Hercules is awesome. Love this tortoise too. He came to me from a nice man at a reptile show rather. You gonna eat my knee? No, no thank you. Not the brightest bulb, but we love them. They're also not as friendly all the time as our galops or aldabras. They don't really like the neck scratching. They have an interesting face. They have these really interesting scutes and scalation on their heads and on their forelegs. They're just incredible. Their name, Sulcata, means sculpted, grooved. And you can see they are like a sculpted work of art that nature created. Let's go over here now and see what's going on with the Hercs. Excuse me, with the Lumps. Wow, look at Lumpy following her. I want to get in here also, and I want to thin out these palmettos. Really think that would look nice to get that looking good. So we'll thin those out here in the coming weeks, just to make sure that you can kind of see in and see all the animals, much like I did to the Aldabra enclosure, the giant tortoise forest. See that? Say that fast. Giant tortoise forest. That's what I wanted. But it's really cool in here. They eat all the weeds. Once I trim it down, they'll be able to keep up with it. So pretty excited. We got to do a cleaning of their water. I have to reconfigure the irrigation to get some more water into this. We got a bunch of palm fronds falling down because of all the bad cold weather this winter. So, you know, there's a lot of work to do to keep the place looking beauteous, so that when you guys watch the channel, you're not looking at a ramshackled camp. You know, we got to keep this place looking good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so here are all the girls. Egg laying season is pretty much over. And anyway, wasn't anything to write home about because, as we said, I don't know, Hercules might need some tortoise Viagra or something because it's a little embarrassing. Sorry, Hercs. Maybe this will put a little pep in his step having the Lumpy around. I don't know. It is what it is, though. Look at that guy. What a guy. All right, let's move over here. I want to kind of see what's going on with all the rummaging around. Yeah, here he comes. Look at this guy. I think he'll be happy here. Happy amongst his own kind. We'll just let them figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Lumpy, I love you, dude. You've been with me since 2004. And a few years ago, this is how I met Dr. Mike. Fred introduced me to Dr. Mike Gillen, and Lumpy was very, very sick. So we had to put a feeding tube in Lumpy, and we aggressively treated Lumpy, and here he is, happy, healthy, moving on into the 21st century even deeper. Thank you, buddy. I love you, man. Let's hope that there is not a lot of action revolving around these two. I don't want any violence. Let's keep it clean, keep the fight nice and easy, no punching below the belt. Hear me? Protect yourself at all times. Anyway, that's why I'm here. And thank you for being here with me. We'll keep you updated as to everything going on with Lumpy and Hercules and all the girls here. We just don't always see the Sulcatas, but I love them. They're an awesome species of tortoise, and they are truly one of the great tortoise species, one of the true giants of the tortoise world. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan if you guys want to see more exclusive content and chat with me live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. For now, I'll see you later. And we'll see that handsome dude lumber on off into the distance. See you guys.